Hey, what's going on, everybody? Today we are talking about the 6 Plus versus the 6S Plus in 2018. These phones really are only 1 year apart from each other, so there's really, a lot of people thought they weren't really different or there really wasn't much of an upgrade here, but the only things that are similar are the way they look, honestly. So they say, like, don't judge a book by its cover. This is exactly, not judging a book by its cover. The bodies, okay, they look exactly the same. The 6S Plus did get a rose gold color though, and the 6S Plus was made from a stronger material so it wouldn't bend easily like the 6 Plus did. But they had the same size body, the same size screen, the same size overall, and the same almost everything else. The 6S Plus does have the updated Touch ID though, but you can't see the updated Touch ID if you're just looking at it. So I do understand a lot of people, when they say the 6 Plus was the same thing as the 6S Plus, but in reality it's not, okay? Believe it or not, the 6S Plus was the last flagship iPhone to keep the headphone jack. Now I understand the iPhone SE came out after, but that wasn't really a flagship, that was more of a budget phone. Now to the jump to the 6S Plus, the cameras did get an update. So the 6 Plus had a 8 megapixel camera, where the 6S Plus had a 12 megapixel camera. And for me, my eyesight isn't even good, so I can't really tell the difference between the two. I'm sure the 6S Plus is better overall, but the main difference the 6S Plus has is that it had 4K video capability, so it could shoot videos in 4K, where the 6 Plus tapped out at 1080p. Now for the average person, 1080p might be okay, but having the ability to shoot 4K, which is, the trend that's going, people are shooting more and more in 4K and uploading on YouTube and stuff, then having that capability doesn't hurt, Now turning it on, they both have iOS 11, they're both supported to the latest version of iOS, and they both are getting iOS 12. I see no reason why the iPhone 6 Plus won't be getting it. And actually the betas for iOS 12 are coming out next month, so make sure you're subscribed because I'm going to make a ton of videos talking about iOS 12 and comparing it to all the other versions. So if you guys, want to see that, hit that subscribe button, I'm going to lie. And overall, I think you guys already know my opinion. iOS 11 wasn't really good for the iPhones, and I will say iOS 11 might have increased overall speed of these phones, but they brought so many bugs and stuff with them, it was just so pointless. So it was taking like one step back and one step forward, like it just wasn't even equaling out. But the speed between these is night and day, okay? The 6 Plus had 1 gigabyte of RAM and it had the Apple A8 chip. The 6S Plus had 2 gigabytes of RAM and the Apple A9 chip. And specs and stuff is one thing, right, talking about it, but when you're actually using these, because I had both these as my daily driver for a very long time, and I'm telling you, the 6S Plus is so much better than the 6 Plus in terms of speed and being able to like keep tons of apps in the background open. And I noticed like with the 6 Plus, like some minor things, like when I would text somebody and I would click on the messaging box, it would just take that extra second for the keyboard to pop up. And if I went to the multitasking, like it would take a couple seconds to get into here and there, and those seconds just add up, and it just kind of like eats away from like me calling it a fast phone or anything like that. The 6S Plus though, I noticed it was more spontaneous. The jump from the 6 Plus to the 6S Plus was way more noticeable than the 6S Plus to the 7 Plus. I honestly don't even know why I updated sometimes because they're almost the same phone. But overall, the 6S Plus does not feel slow at all. Gaming and everything is perfectly fine with it. Really, the only way the 6 Plus beats the 6S Plus is in battery life. I did find that the 6S Plus battery life to be pretty good. The 6S Plus isn't bad though, but they shrunk the battery size when they updated, so I don't really know why they do that. And they also increased the performance there too, so it's like a smaller battery with a more powerful phone. So you might find better battery life in the 6 Plus like I found it, but that's just my opinion. The 6S Plus does have a huge feature over the 6 Plus, which is Force Touch, and I use it all the time and I really depend on it. And going from a phone that doesn't have Force Touch to a phone that does have Force Touch will be the craziest thing ever, because you start utilizing it and you're like, oh my god, like if I press hard here and if I press hard here, I'll get different feedback back. So it's pretty cool. I really like it. So with all that being said, which one should you buy in 2018? Should you save a little bit of money and get the 6 Plus, or should you spend a little bit more money and get the 6S Plus? And in my opinion, you should definitely spend a little bit more money and get the 6S Plus. It'll last you much longer. It's so much better of a phone. It has Force Touch. It's almost future-proof, right? It has all the basic necessities you need in a phone, 2 gigabytes of RAM, A9 chip, all that stuff. Updated Touch ID. I just feel like it's so much worthwhile of a phone. And for me to recommend you the 6 Plus, that would just be irresponsible on my part, because it's almost at the end of its life cycle. You probably won't have a good time using it. I'm sure there's people out there who have the 6 Plus who are watching this video who have no problems with their phones, and that's perfectly fine, but it just makes no sense to get it right now. If you're on an extreme budget, then maybe get the 6 Plus, but even then I wouldn't even recommend. I would recommend the iPhone SE or even an iPhone 6s over the iPhone 6 Plus, honestly. And guys, that is pretty much it. If you have any questions or you agree with me or disagree with me, leave it down in the comment section below. I read every single comment, so if you post something, I'm going to read it. Hit that like button if you guys enjoyed the video, but definitely hit that subscribe button. 40,000 subscribers is around the corner, so I really appreciate if you guys could help me out by hitting that subscribe button. Make sure you check out the links in the description. Go ahead and expand it. My second channel, my SoundCloud, all that stuff is down there. I make beats and stuff, so I'd really appreciate if you guys could check it out. But more importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys, and I hope I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out to all of them.